Global War Enthusiast here with a discussion of tech rolling luck thus far in Operation Live and Let Die. I did an analysis of the first 6 turns of tech rolls for each of the alliances. First, we'll talk about the Axis. So here you can see Germany's rolls, each turn, what they rolled, what the odds were at. Like here on the first turn, they had 4 rolls at a 7 or higher, and they had 1 success. You can see at the third turn, they had 4 rolls at 7 or higher and had 3 successes, and they had 1 roll at 8 or higher and had 0 successes. So if you look at the total row here, they had, in the first 6 turns, they had 17 rolls at 7 or higher and got 11 successes. So if you look at what the odds are, that should be 50-50. So they should have 8.5 successes, but they got 11. So that's 2.5 extra rolls, extra successes than would be predicted if it were average. So they're up. The Germans are up 2.5 successes on their 7+ rolls. Then they had 12 rolls at 8+ and had 2 successes. So 12 rolls at 8 or higher, if you think about it on a 12-sided die, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's 5 possibilities out of 12 possibilities. Well, if you roll 12 times, you get 1 of each on average. So you should have 5 successes if you try 12 at 8+, and Panzer J only got 2 successes. So he was up 2.5 on his 7+ rolls, and he was down 3 on his 8+ rolls. So overall, he was half a success below average luck with Germany. So even though it seemed like Germany was doing really poorly at the end, overall it was pretty dang close to average. If you do the same sort of analysis for Japan, total they had 11 7+ rolls, so you'd figure they'd get 5.5 successes, and they got 6 successes. So Japan was up half a success. Germany was down half a success. Japan was up half a success. So the Axis were pretty neutral, except for poor Italy. Italy had 7 rolls at 7. They only got 2 successes, which is 1.5 successes below average. So total for all of the Axis rolling in the first 6 turns, they were 1.5 successes off average. Pretty dang close to average. Regression to the mean, right? Now let's talk about the Allies' luck. So Great Britain had 12 total rolls at 7 or higher. You would expect 6 successes, but Great Britain only got 5 successes, so they were 1 below average. France had 6 total rolls at 7 or higher, and they only got 2 successes when they should have got 3. So again, they're 1 success below average. So Great Britain and France together, they're 2 below average. They are really doing horribly. The United States is a more difficult one to calculate because they have a whole bunch of different odds. But let's just walk through it. If you look at all the total rolls that the U.S. had at 7 or higher, they had 13 rolls at 7 or higher. That means they would predict to get 6.5 successes. They got 8 successes, so they're up 1.5 for their 7s. Now let's jump ahead. We'll skip the 8s for a moment, and we'll do the 9s. This is where the USA really was flummoxed, because they had 6 rolls at 9 or higher, which is a 1/3 chance. 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 4 out of 12. That's a 1/3 chance. So with 6 rolls at a 1/3 chance, you would expect to get 2 successes, but they got 0 successes. So that's 2 below average, so -2 there. So they're on the 7 or higher, they're up 1.5, but for the 9 or higher, they're down 2. Now let's talk about the 8s, which is a 5/12 chance of success. Fighting Irish had 17 rolls at 8 and got 8 successes, which was basically, it's 0.917 above average. You would figure that would be about what you get if it was a 50-50, but he didn't quite have a 50-50. He had 5/12 So the math works out that he got a 0.917 above. So if you look at 1.5 up, 0.97 down, and then I'm sorry, 1.5 up plus another 0.917 up is 0.2417 up, minus the 2 for his terrible rolling with his 9s. So he ended up with above average luck for the U.S. Because he did better on his 7s and 8s, but worse on his 9s. So overall, the Allied luck was 1 down, and about half up. So he ended up 1.583 below average luck. If you remember, Panzer J was 1.5 below. So almost exactly the same. They're 0.083. The Allies were 0.083 successes less than the Axis. So they're pretty much equivalently lucky, those two teams. But so far, if you looked at the individual who had it the worst, it's poor Italy, because Italy was 1.5 below average luck. So Italy had the worst luck, but the Allies overall had even worse total luck, if that makes any sense. And then finally is the Comintern. The Comintern had 1.83 below average luck. So if you look my total 7s, I had 5 successes with 8 rolls, so that's a +1. I should have had 4 successes out of 8 rolls at a 50-50 chance, but instead I had 5, so I got 1 for my 7s. I did well with my 7s. For my 8s, I made 2 rolls at 8 and got 1 success, and so that's a teeny little bit above average. That's about 50-50, but I shouldn't have deserved 50-50. So if you take 5/12, the difference is 7.17, so that's how much up above I was. And then there were 12 rolls at 9. Every single turn I made the 2 rolls at 9. And I only... wait, did I only get 1 success? That can't be right. I thought I got 2 successes. 1 here and 1 here. This is not accurate. Oh my. I am not as bad off as I thought. So this would be a -2. Let me think here. Yes, so I should have had 4 successes out of 9 because I made 12 rolls. But I actually had 2 successes because this isn't right. I didn't do my math right. I didn't see probably this one adding here to there. So this should be 2 successes, doing this on the fly. And that should be a -2, which would make my luck only 0.83 below average. So wait a second, I was the luckiest. I went from thinking I was the most unlucky to actually I was the luckiest, because I was only 0.83 below average luck. So the 3 of us all did below average luck for our tech rolls. But at first, when I was doing this, I thought I was the most unlucky. That is not true, because I got 1 success here and 1 success there, so that should have been 2. Anyway, so the most unlucky country was Italy. The most unlucky player was Fighting Irish. He got the most unlucky rolls, and I was the luckiest. Oh my God! It's funny how I was convinced I was going to be the most unlucky. So that was very interesting to have run through that, and I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Had a surprise ending.